Hello, YouTube, and welcome to part 29 of Horizon Zero Dawn with DrMick, brought to you by Montana Recreations. Yeah. Get your thumbs up in courtesy of Montana Recreations. Leave a comment courtesy of the comment section brought to you by Montana Recreations. Subscription button that you should have pressed 29 episodes ago. Available to you exclusively by Montana Recreations. Thanks for being here. Great to have you. Excited about what part 29's got in store for us. Do all those things that Montana Recreations was so kind to make available for you. All right. Let's wake this person up. She ain't gonna like it.
I can feel her fever even in this cold. She shouldn't have been putting weight on this leg.
She is awake. Miss Outlander. You brought her here, Ikri? You think I went to the Nora homelands to find a spear to drive between us? I told you, the ordeal is mine, and mine alone. I will survive.
Which would you rather keep, Mylin? Your leg or your pride? Because I think you're gonna have to choose.
Finish it. I know what you think of me. But I vowed you'd join the White Teeth. And you will. I will go back. Alone.
Yo, this is so complicated. This is so complicated. We talk so often in all of these playthroughs about boundaries. But what do you do when a person's boundaries aren't necessarily in their best interest, as you see it? What do you do? A lot of people like to make this seem like it's super easy. Well, you do the thing that's right. But that doing what's right presupposes that whatever code of morality or value system you follow is more important than the code of morality or value system that the person who is setting the boundary is following. Where's the line? This person very clearly stated, I do not want medical assistance. I do not want intervention as it relates to this trial. Do not intervene. That's a pretty clearly stated boundary. And she has her reasons for setting that boundary, whether it's because it's what she actually believes, whether it's because she respects the rules of the ritual that they're engaging in. But she has set a boundary very clearly. It's essentially, I was thinking the same thing. It's essentially like a person who has a do not resuscitate. This person took it upon herself to go all the way up this mountain with Aloy and violate that boundary. And is justifying it to herself by saying, I made a promise to you. And you will die otherwise. But that is her inserting herself and all of her anxieties and her agenda into a boundary violation. Is that fair? Is that good? Is that the responsible or right thing to do? And I guarantee you, if this is a TikTok, I'm going to have people split in the comments. People are going to say, no, you have to help her because blah, blah, blah. And there are going to be people who say, no, you respect the boundary. I happen to be in line with the you respect the boundary. If that person signed off on that and is very clear and adamant that that's their boundary and that they'd like you to adhere to it, it's your responsibility to respect that boundary and deal with whatever crap comes up for you as the result of respecting that boundary. Even if you don't like it. If this person dies underneath this sheet of ice to a broken leg that very easily could have been repaired, that's not our responsibility. That is a consequence of this person's choice to adhere to and set that boundary. And that is a hard pill for some people to swallow, but you've got to be careful not to overly insert yourself into other people's affairs because you just don't like the boundary they're setting. So just to further elaborate on this, because I'm looking at some of the comments on this. The first one being, what if the person who's setting the boundary is being manipulated or misled? You damn well better know that that's happening. And even then, you can certainly say, I don't agree with your boundary. You can tell people that you don't agree with or you don't respect the boundary that they're setting. But at the end of the day, if that person is setting that boundary and is steadfast in their adherence to it, at some point you have to recognize that that person is responsible for the boundary that they're setting. And you're responsible for following it, even if you don't agree with it. So for this person to say, do not get involved with this and do not help me no matter how much pain I'm in, and that person says that to you ahead of time, again, dying under this ice shelf is the consequence of that person's decision, that person's boundary. It's a hard pill to swallow. We don't like the idea of that, but that's the reality of what's going on here. Let's see. They could have left the medicine with her instead of treating her leg. Would that be better? I mean, I guess it gives her a decision of whether she wants to do it. But if she would have considered that to be help, then I'd say not necessarily. She's being a danger to herself. So in that case, I think Aloy should help. I disagree. Aloy does not have any kind of ethical responsibility here to intervene with what's going on for this person. It's not, Aloy is not a person who is responsible for her in some way. She's not her medical doctor who comes across this. She's not, there's no code of ethics that binds Aloy to a need to intervene here. And this is what I'm talking about. The complicated nature of this conversation is if you intervene here, if you decide to help this person despite their insistence that you do not, you are saying that your values is more important than theirs. Aloy and I'm forgetting this person's name have essentially told Malin, what we believe and what we want for you is more important than what you want for you. Ikri, thank you. That it's more important. It takes precedence over what you want for yourself. And I don't know many people that like the idea of having that said to them. Think of how often we have conversations in real life discourse about bodily autonomy. So they've made a medical decision about this person's body for her. Now, I do respect that Aloy said, you're going to have to choose your pride or your leg. That's a fair thing to say. And this person said, finish patching the leg. So she did come around on this in some way and took the help. But again, you going up there in the first place to assist her is you saying, what I believe, what I care about here is more important than what she cares about. And I'm going to dictate the terms on this because of that. And, man, these are the types of things that are so contextually loaded. You can't apply this across the board to every single situation because there's nuance involved in this. But everything we know about this situation, I have to say, I don't particularly like that Ikari is doing this and that she pulled Aloy along with it. Aloy could have said, I don't know, man, if that person said that they don't want any intervention, I don't really want to be involved in this because that doesn't feel right to me to go up there and provide medical intervention if this person has explicitly stated they don't want it. It's also a little bit tricky because then you're relying on secondhand information. You're not hearing it directly from Maelrin. Like if you go up there and Maelrin says, I don't want any help, then Aloy could be like, all right, I ain't going to help you then. I mean, because we don't know if Ikari is telling the truth. Like if Ikari wants Maelrin to die and so says, oh yeah, that person up there doesn't want any medical intervention. So, and then Aloy goes, all right, well then I won't go up there. That's not great. But again, it's very tricky. But again, the core concept that we're talking about here is at what point is it okay for you to violate somebody's boundaries because of your own beliefs? Can an argument be made she isn't thinking clearly? No, I don't think so because she set the boundary ahead of time. If she was under duress right now and was not necessarily lucid as however it would be deemed that she is lucid, then maybe there's an argument to be made that there's implied consent to intervene. But this person said very clearly ahead of time, do not intervene. Again, the nearest parallel that I can draw to this would be a DNR. If you have a DNR, you're saying, if I die, or if I'm under some sort of circumstances, do not resuscitate me. If I die on the operating table, or if I die in the ambulance, do not bring me back. And if you violate a DNR and bring somebody back because you want them to live, despite the fact that they very clearly, when they were of sound mind and body, made that decision for themselves, you are, I would argue, no better than somebody who forces somebody to carry out a pregnancy when they don't want to. Like, where's the line on bodily autonomy? And that includes the right to say, I don't want any kind of medical intervention with this risky thing that I'm about to do because of the whole giant doctrine that I subscribe to. Steve Jobs refused traditional medical intervention on his pancreatic cancer, and some people argue that that ended up killing him because he chose to go his own way. Steve Jobs dying of pancreatic cancer because of his choice to do that is on Steve Jobs. Like, there's so many examples of this type of thing in real life. Like, at what point, do you say, screw you, we're not going to follow? People who refuse certain things on religious doctrine, who say, my boundary here is I'm not going to, I will not have my leg amputated because of X belief or because I just don't want it amputated. And a doctor says, well, you're in huge trouble if you get this. If you don't amputate your leg, there's a really good chance you could die. That person says, don't amputate the leg. That person is exerting some level of autonomy. I think this becomes more cloudy when we're talking about something that has it has an impact on the people around you. So, for example, if a person has a very contagious and communicable deadly disease and that person says, my boundary is that I get to go into my town and I get to participate in things while I'm sick, and I'm not gonna take any medicine, or I'm not gonna vaccinate myself against this, and I should just be allowed to be sick around people. That's different, because that has a very specific impact on the people around you. There's a common good aspect to that. But this person refusing medical intervention on something that doesn't have any impact on anybody else beyond the emotional distress that comes along with it, we're in a very weird gray area here. There are people that try to maliciously use boundaries, but this is not one of those situations.
No. Let me do this. Please. Let her. My Len, I hope you can forgive me someday.
I never accepted your help. It's the Were Act you should ask for forgiveness.
I didn't care about the Were Act.
She'll understand. You saved her life.
You don't know.
Maybe just shut up, Aloy, and say, oh man, that was really hard. Sometimes when you say certain platitudes to try to make people feel better, really your better option would have been to not say anything at all. Aloy doesn't know that. Aloy just met these people. Aloy, you just don't even try that. Because again, like right there, chat, right there is exactly everything that we've been talking about. Aloy has essentially said that saving her life was more important than anything else here. And so when she's like, oh yeah, she'll come around because you saved her life, she'll come around to the idea that that was more important than the fact that she just violated every single piece of doctrine that she had going into this. You don't know that, and that's not necessarily going to make her feel better. That's not empathy. That's a reaffirmation that they made the right decision. Empathy for Ikri here would be, man, that seemed like a really hard call, and it seems like this is going to be really tough for the two of you, and I'm sorry you're in this position. That's the space that you want to occupy if you're Aloy here. Not the reaffirmation that we made the right choice. That's it's a little too much.
The Bannock very well, Aloy. We have so many ways to express a grudge, and only one to accept an apology. I have to go my own way. I don't belong with them, who left her to die, and I don't belong with Ikri. I'll find a crack in this glacier, and I'll shout my grief into it. And the ice can keep it forever. Will you tell the Werak? Tell them I was lost, and that she endured.
If it's what you want, Ikri.
So first of all, here's where I'm rubbing my eyes. I love that Aloy respects that, right? Like, that's how you handle that. I want to go off on my own, scream into a glacier, and go my own way. And Aloy's like, yep, all right, cool, I respect that. Go do your thing. That's how we should have handled Malin. So you see the decision-making of where they believe the line is. Let's not respect Malin's wishes, but now I'll respect yours. because it feels way more benign. The inconsistency there is worthy of note. That's how it should have been handled.
The White Teeth's test did change something in me. In us both.
Stuff is just so complicated, man. This is why we can't reduce this stuff down to just general oversimplifications that apply to everything. I'm curious what their one way to accept an apology is. I don't know, probably death or something. All right, well, that's done. Talk to the White Teeth Chieftain. Oh shit, so we can go back over there and okay. To be fair, the rules are stupid. So this game, I'm gonna walk to this next place because I want to take some time to talk about this. So this whole game, one of the very fascinating conversations in my mind has been, what do you do when you believe that tradition and rules are dumb? When you don't personally agree with the value set of the group that you're a part of? And it's such a complicated thing to navigate. Because at some point, like, do you, if a person follows those rules that you deem to be stupid, are you enlightening them by violating those rules because you believe that you're doing them a solid because the way that you believe the rules are is the right way versus the way that they believe the rules are is the right way? Like, there is a suggestion in some ways that there is an objective truth of what is better. And that if you find the way, this is why people try to convert people over to different religious doctrine with different sets of rules. Because I believe that these rules are better and these are what everybody should be following. And people fight wars about this shit. So I believe, is belief that the rules are stupid a good enough reason to violate somebody's boundaries if their boundaries are in line with those rules that they subscribe to? Well, that means that you have to take into context whether that person is willingly subscribing to the rules or whether they're subscribing to the rules because of some oppressive force or because they don't know any better. And if it's because they don't know any better, is it your responsibility to teach them better? Or is it your responsibility to follow what it is that they follow out of respect for what it is that they follow? I mean, these are very complicated questions that a lot of people don't want to ask and don't want to take into account when they're in these types of situations. And again, this is why we have to be so careful not to just put blanket morality around stuff. Because in some ways, you are disrespecting somebody if you decide that your way of thinking about it is better and you act on that. It presupposes that you're more correct than they are, or that your reality is closer to the objective reality than theirs is. But do you really know that? I mean, it's all very fascinating. This is the White Teeth wearer. Let's see what happens here.
With their ridiculous ideas about women, how many great warriors have they ignored?
Great question.
Outlander. These are not the ones I was expecting. Do your augurs speak of it?
When I cast the metal shavings from my len, they moved away from Banur.
She came from the knife trail. She saw what happened there.
You would have an outlander speak for you? 2 hunters were lost, 1 returned. Convince me what your word is worth.
What a power statement. God damn. Way to control the room, big guy. Convince me what your words are worth. Holy shit. That's some alpha shit. By the rules of the ordeal, she survived. She's endured more than most. She gave up everything for your rules. It is not my responsibility to look the chieftain in the eye and call his rules bullshit. That is just not that's not the play here. Not the play here. She's endured now that by the rules of the ordeal, she survived. That even feels a little bit weird because how would an outlander know the rules of the ordeal? It could be, boy. I just don't know that, I don't know that I trust Aloy to understand that. And then my question would be like, why does Aloy know what the rules of the ordeal is to know whether or not that this happened within them? Like that just kind of raises suspicion. I think you got to say she's endured more than most and maybe leave it at that. My initial reaction was to go with this one, but.
If this was a test of her endurance, I'd say she's endured more than many could bear. She put your Werak above all else. That was what kept her going, through the pain, and through the loss of a friend. She survived for you. Don't turn her away.
She is a fine teller. There is a place for my len with the white teeth.
I do not dispute it.
Outlander. So nothing of the other hunter? The one called Ikri?
She's gone. She sounded brave.
Her name will always be in my song.
Our hunters already compete with the other Wereks. Now,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best you can do there, right? Like, I'm not going to speak on behalf of Ikri. I'm not going to tell them anything more than what they need to know. If Ikri wants to come back, then by all means do that. But I also think that this was an ordeal where Ikri learned that the Werek's not for her, and that's fine. Good enough.
we've got Oseram.
I respect the way that Aloy handled that.
And Karja to compete with as well.
Long road back to the Black Hills of our home.
A lot of other runners just pass me.
So, this is what you do. Come from the snow, aid strangers, and then vanish again? Even so, I didn't expect you to vouch for me. I don't hold anything against you, Mylin.
Don't you see? Ikri was my only friend, and she could have died. You could have too. All for my mistake. The law of survival would not allow such a waste. It makes us strong and cold. It challenges us to leave friendship behind.
I grew up with laws like that. They brought me nothing but pain.
Did you believe in them? That's what I thought. This is my choice. My pain.
How long until the demon births the perfect?
I respect that. I do. Take accountability. Take accountability and responsibility for the consequences of your decisions. Yep. I believe this. I'm okay with it. I recognize that the loss of a friendship happened because of this. And I'm as informed as I can be about that decision, and I will make my peace with it in the ways that I will. Go away, Outlander.
Machine. One will have no chance of fighting.
I can't feel much of anything in this.
Very interesting mission. that was. All right. Work our way up north. Look at this slow-ass goat. What will we have up here? Hopefully some more cool lore.
Must be the cave that shaman told me about. Long way down. And not natural either.
Drone hanger. Oh, baby. What's the context for this again? A Banuk shaman tells Aloy of a cave in the far north used by shamans for materials to craft their spears. Down we go.
I might not be alone down here.
You think?
Here's one of the metal birds.
Oh, whoa, it's a jet. She called it a metal bird because she wouldn't have any conceptualization of what a jet is. This is actually pretty cool. Ted Farrow's personal hangar. Hey, would you look at that?
It's a figure.
Depicts a slim antlered animal. Inscribed 5 of 7 in commemorative set. Night 2042 Montana Recreations. Traded Hollow Hall for valuable rewards. I will.
Must have been an ancient animal.
Would she even know that it could fly? I mean, she conceptualized it as a bird, so I would assume yes. Or at least that's what she's deducing from the traits of the thing.
Anything my focus could reveal. Damaged. Guess the Banuk already got to it.
Control for drone transport. So
If I could move that flying machine over a little. Just have to go up.
You can move the flying machine over a little. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, let's see. That seems like a pretty solid idea, Sky.
Not so grounded after all. Now I can get across.
Oh, baby. Here we go.
There's the door lock. I'll need to configure it.
If those punk technicians think I'm gonna sleep on them waltzing in here and screwing around with the drone routines, They have seriously underestimated my sense of mission. Let's just reset that hololock. Echo, Sierra, Echo.
East, south, east. Even though it literally tells me that on the panel. So tough. I understand, Mr. Blevins.
I didn't ask for a bunch of flying cameras. I need security, not surveillance. And security means firepower. As God is my witness, I will not be caught squirting blanks if and when a major act of terrorism desecrates these facilities.
Message text. Miss Pines, Dodd Blevins. Right now, I'm looking at a security drone. It was requisitioned from Faro Automated Industries to serve the needs of the Firebreak project. It is, in fact, one of an entire fleet, handpicked by me and allotted for our use by Ted Faro. Yes, the man so far above you on the ladder that he might as well be God. And I have a direct line to your Father in heaven. Now, you and I had a conversation in which I tried to impart to you the sensitive nature of our project. And if I recall correctly, you said, "I understand, Mr. Blevins." I took you at your word, which apparently was a flaw in my judgment, since you have sent me a goddamn fleet of flying CCTV cameras and a bunch of jerk-off eggheads who think they know more about protecting this country than I do. Now, your technicians are going to provide me with the firepower I need to prevent a major act of terrorism from occurring in or around my facilities. And they are going to do so without increasing our project budget. Because, Miss Pines, this is your screw-up, and I am a reasonable man. But so help me, if you add another cent to Firebreak's balance sheet, I will see to it that you personally, answer to Mr. Faro and his board of directors. So I want you to call me back. I want you to leave me a message. I want that message to consist of 4 little words. I understand, Mr. Blevins, and this time I want you to mean them. Dude doesn't sound particularly fun to be around.
Check the area with my focus, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Nothing? Okay. Montana Recreations.
No one's touched this machine since it got sealed in here. Mounting rail. That's what I want.
Is it? Text mail from Harris Bonner. To Kenny Chow from Harris Bonner. Ban him! Kenny! I get it, okay? I really do. Faro is Firebreak's patron. Blevins is Faro's lapdog. Circle of ass kissing blah blah blah. But if you allow Blevins to remain on site, installation is going to take twice as long as we're budgeted for. And I don't know how deep Firebreak's pockets are, but I can guarantee you they're not bottomless. We've just got done recalibrating the entire fleet. The entire fleet, Kenny! Why, I imagine you're wondering? Oh, Kenny, I'm so glad you hypothetically asked. Blevins was unhappy with the baseline behavioral routines of the security drones. You know, the ones he selected himself. Not aggressive enough, he said. I doubt a Rottweiler mounted on an ICBM would be aggressive enough for him. So we patched in some combat behaviors, which let me tell you was not easy. Basically outfitted these things for war. Think about that, Kenny. Bleeding edge combat drones patrolling an empty wilderness. All so Blevins can play army on Firebreak's dime. I'm begging you, Kenny. Find a way to bar him from the hangar. Please. Harris. What old Dotto do?
Shouldn't be hard to remove.
Yeah, it just pops right off.
I'll show it to that shaman when I'm back in Song's Edge.
This thing is like a world-class fighter drone, and Aloy can pop that thing off with her bare hands with no tools. Some shoddy work from the Pharaoh org, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
All those Banuk shamans loosened it like a pickle jar. Yes. All right.
So this thing will improve my spear, huh?
Neato burrito. Look at that. You got to go all the way there. Just to go all the way back here. See what's up. All right. I don't want to do the hunting grounds here. That I'm not particularly excited about. I do want to go up here, but I'm wondering if I need to do the shaman thing first and then work my way up. Looks like there's another tower over here. I mean, I guess I'm close enough to this that I could go mark it and see what's up. Call my mount. There you are. Oh, shit. Oh, shit! Ah! Not buying it. Not buying what you're selling, boys. Oh, Lordy. Keep moving. Keep it moving. Keep going. Come on. Ooh. Check out the sunrise here. Look at this. Oh, baby. It's just so nice and serene. Reminds me of the time we watched the sunrise in Red Dead.
Chill almost feels like sunburn.
Sometimes you just gotta appreciate the view. Thanks for being here, friends. Thanks for watching this playthrough as we enjoy this sunset together, or sunrise together. Brought to you by Montana Recreations. Hear the thunder of a volcano in the background. Oh. I just want to see the sunrise. Come on. Yeah, there it is. That's nice. Ooh, baby. All right, let's keep moving. What's up here? God damn.
The ladder pulled out of reach. By Araya? Guess I'll have to find another way.
Oh, so I must not be able to come up here yet. Can't enter this location. Okie dokie. Well, it was worth a shot. All right. So let's go down here so we can climb that mountain and go see what's up then. There we go. All right. And... oh, you know what? Oh, man, I guess I do... shit. Well, we'll do that later. Let's go... here. Let's go see what all this hoopla about the shaman's about. This is why we're here, after all. Son of a bitch! Forgot my keys. There we go. Ah. No, I still haven't found Sierra's keys. Still not. Those things have been lost for a long time. Up the mountain. Oh, baby. Here we go. All the blue stuff. We were told about this. This is the stuff they worship.
I'm pretty far up. The shaman's path must be around here somewhere. This must be one of the markers Naltuk told me about.
Interesting.
Not this way. Looks like each marker points to another, giving directions.
Even though there's a cave, really, you only have... maybe this cave gets more complex the longer we go.
Guess I'm heading deeper into the cold, creepy ice cave.
Guess so.
Better go back after I grab this loot.
Yeah. You and Kratos are one and the same, Aloy.
What's this chime for? To help guide the way with sound? If there's more, maybe my focus can find them. Yep, focus can pick up the chimes. Should help me find my way.
Man, the Banuk really know how to excite the senses and get you to use all of them in order to... See, but yeah, you can find cool shit when you go off the beaten path. Get those shards, Aloy.
This isn't the way out. Some gear, though.
We leave no box untouched.
Another marker. Good. Dead end. But at least there's stuff.
Not really been any good stuff at these dead ends, though.
Okay, that way then.
To the right! So I go left.
Took a wrong turn.
As any good RPG player does.
Wait. Back?
I mean, we might as well see the whole cave while we're in here, you know? Yeah.
Not this way. But then, where?
Ooh, nifty.
Chime. Not sure I saw this fork before.
Nifty. Damn, these shamans are pretty athletic if they're coming up here like this.
Stalkers. Better be careful.
What the hell are these doing down here? What an awful noise those make. Reinforced outfit weave. Actually kind of curious about that. Resist ranged attacks, resist free. Nah.
We're here.
Oh, how do I miss? Damn, this cave is elaborate.
On we go. Hopefully out of this cave.
I better get some cool ass shit at the end of this. There we go.
Done with the cave. So what's next on this path?
Damn, what a view. Look at that. Woo! That's certainly a treat for getting through there.
How does this bridge work? Looks like it needs to fill up with water before I can cross.
Woo!
Around the bend we go.
Oh boy.
Now how do I cross this one? Down it is.
All right. And
There's the lamp.
What have we here? Light oxide. Light-colored residue formed in the old world metal, a pigment used for Banuk rock painting. Trade sets at Song's Edge for valuable rewards. Ugh. Some sludgy stuff.
I need to pull the rope to move this thing into position. Okay, the bridge is filling up.
Man, between this and the Oseram, like, engineering stuff, so damn cool, man. Like, what an awesome concept. This log fills up, and then the water pours out, and then it goes back up, and it fills up again. God, it's just so, that kind of shit just makes me so happy. It's all completely unnecessary, but adds so much.
Made it. Okay, heading for more waterfalls.
I was always told you shouldn't go chasing them, but all of that for this box? Holy crap. Based on a real life thing you find in Japanese gardens, they're called deer scares. Interesting. This is really cool. Oh! The big bear.
Exaggerating. There's definitely something new out here. And I don't think it's friendly.
It's a bear. Oh, we got to fight a bear.
Onward and upward.
Just seems so impractical to put so much effort into a contraption that points you in a very obvious direction. Oh boy.
I don't like the sound of that.
No? You don't like the sound of bears?
Machine howls.
Oh, shit! Oh, baby. The bear. Oh. Polar bear.
Gonna have trouble reaching that tower to override it.
You don't see me. You don't see me.
Get rid of that tower.
I want to see if I can disable the tower without... Go, 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 Aloy, go, 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 go! Oh, baby!
Guess we're doing this, big boy.
Yeah!
Scary new machine, down. Now back to finding Araya.
Dude,
Jeez. I've gotta climb.
thing's badass. Oh, okay, so we're going up this. I see. Didn't even get to show off its moves because I'm just better. I'm the bear now. Look at me. I'm the bear now. Me. I'm the bear. Lulu. Woo! Woo! All right. I get up this busted ass contraption. This way.
This must be the shrine Naltuk was talking about. Guess I should take some blue gleam. Sparkles. I can see why it's worth a lot.
Yeah, dude, take all of it. You kidding me? Oh, look at that. Oh, it's like a giant storm bird. Look at that. It's like a yeah, it's a storm bird.
Naltuk said Araya went past the shrine, up into the mountain. I'd better take those stairs.
God, this is elaborate as shit. I was not expecting this to be a legit, like, journey. Man.
An ancient door. Maybe Araya's inside.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out in part 30. I'm just kidding. Fireback upgrades.
March 10th,
The fire break.
2046. I just spent 16 hours in here trying to install upgrades to improve efficiency for the central processing unit. Project Firebreak is going to need the brain power. Let's just hope I'll have enough of my own. Anita stayed with me the whole time. We got a lot done, but every time she brushed by and I smelled her hair, oh boy, I should just go to bed.
Easy, killer. That was Kenny Chow for those listening along.
Lots of strange equipment. What was this place?
Very confined. Zero Dawn went down in 2064, I believe. So this is like 20, almost 20 years. So this is ahead. Probably get some more context here. All right. Simply Snafu.
This is Director of Security Blevins resending the emergency supply order. Try reading it this time, okay? You weasels don't want me calling my people in SLC.
Let me begin by spelling out disaster for you. A destructive event causing a level of disturbance unmanageable via the application of ordinary resources. What you have given us is distinctly ordinary. Dummies version. Give me what I need, or you'll be on an auto car to lay off city quicker than you can say code red. The list, one more time, 3,000 MREs, no lasagna, 30 military-grade flashlights, no more junk store crap, 10 portable water pumps, not 5, not 8, 10, 50 tubes of fungicide. We're working underground, spores happen. 15 hydraulic jacks, 12 replacement drone propulsion units, 50 holographic microdrives, and a disaster C definition above. It is absolutely critical to track all ingresses and egresses of the facility. I take our safety seriously, even if you don't. 50 almond-scented, extra soft data corrupted. He's a demanding fellow. I need to know more about this Dodd Blevins guy. I need more context. Oh my God, Blevins.
Director of Security Blevins is riding us like a petty tyrant. I can't even sneeze without triggering his control issues.
Personal log. If Blevins reconfigures the pattern on the lambent orbicular door access one more time, I'm gonna vomit all over it. Sure, I don't want some gift shop employee rooting around in the firebreak facility, but these measures aren't about security, they're about control. I wonder if Blevins gets in early to watch everybody try to solve the new pattern, perched over his little camera array in the big boy office. What a bridge troll. You'd think that a fraction of his fancy drone budget could go toward buying him some classier body spray. God help me and Kenny if he ever finds out about us. So Blevins is compensating via his role that has been ascribed to him, unveiling control under security. That door, the door again, text mail from Dodd Blevins. Okay, I've been hearing that some of our staff members are having trouble with our state-of-the-art, ultra-secure, and absolutely necessary lambent orbicular door access. So here's the SLOW version again. The thingy in the middle is the source node. Turn it on. Yeah, I know, hard, right? Then you've got to turn the other nodes so that the data stream containing your credentials gets back to the source. Some nodes are used to buffer corrupt or suspect data, so avoid those. Shouldn't be too tough because you know they're red. Like a stop sign. I'm guessing you were taught this in preschool, but with this crowd, who knows? Anyway, that's it. Get the data stream back to the source and the door opens. It's really not that tough, but if you need me to, I'll hold your hand while you give it a try. Actually, scratch that. Do it yourself. I'm not gonna touch your hand. All right, in the same way that we handled a person like Ted Farrow, we're going to talk about Dodd Blevins a bit here. And I'm going to give the same caveat to what I'm about to say about Dodd that I gave about Ted Farrow, which is that I am not condoning the way that Dodd Blevins shows up in the world and in interpersonal spaces. The impact that he has on the people around him is real and is something that he is responsible for. But why would a person like Dodd Blevins engage with people in the way that he does? And this isn't the only possible way that this happens, but this is my hypothesis. There are a lot of people who, well, no, I shouldn't say a lot. There are people who grow up in certain contexts, whether it's their home, whether it's at school, whether it's the areas they occupy outside of those things, that do not necessarily meet whatever standard has been decided is the ideal. Sometimes it's arbitrary, sometimes it's very concrete. But I'm guessing that Dodd Blevins had many interactions in his life. Some he had some control over and some he did not. Where he was told both directly and indirectly that he's not good enough. That he is less than. That he does not meet a certain standard. Whether it's aesthetically, whether it is emotionally, whether it's interpersonal dynamics that are seen as more ideal than others. But I'm guessing that he probably lived a life of feeling like he was not in control of many of the things that he was evaluated / judged about. And that's a really terrible experience for a person to have. Particularly when you are marginalized or looked over because of things that you don't have control over. Or things you do have control over, but you're taught that you don't, and you get manipulated in certain ways. Regardless, what can happen for somebody like this is they can desperately seek ways to gain a sense of control in the environment that they occupy. But because the environment and the people within it were perceived or actually were antagonistic toward that person, when a person like Dodd achieves a role that allows him to exert control, he does it in an antagonistic way. So it's an extension of the way in which Dodd would have personalized the things that happened to him. So when he is the director of security and has developed a level of competence that put him into that position, he then uses that role to exert the thing on the people around him that he never exerted or perceived himself as able to exert as he was growing up. The important thing to remember about this is that Dodd isn't doing that out of a sense of, I have control. He's doing it in reaction to a world that he perceives to be out of his control. So his exertion of control over the people around him is more about his insecurity and his sense of no control of his environment than it is about him having a sense of, I'm the person who makes decisions. And it's a very important distinction to make. Because though he might be like drunk with power and might be demanding and condescending, he's doing that out of a place of insecurity. He's not doing that out of a place where it was cultivated that he is somebody that is worthy and somebody who can play nice with people. He believes that he has to exert extreme control and condescension on people, or else they are going to put him back in the position that he was in growing up, which is intolerable to him. It's actually kind of sad. Like, if you actually empathize with that person and you take the time to try to understand, it stirs up a sense of like, man, that really sucks that he had to endure that. And it sucks that he believes he has to be condescending and controlling as a means to compensate for that. Because what it actually does is it drives people away and it makes him insufferable, and it perpetuates the very thing that he's afraid of, which is that he never gets along with anybody and that he's not actually part of the group. And this is where those projections and that personalization causes problems for people. Because now you're acting in a way that is facilitating the narrative that's driving the compensatory behaviors. So it becomes this really nasty positive feedback loop that's very difficult to get out of. That's how a person like Dodd Blevins gets into the position that he's in. And it would take an immense amount of work and empathy, and that's stuff that his coworkers aren't responsible for doing on his behalf. But he needs to understand that the way the environment engaged with him growing up, the lack of control that he felt, the way that he was marginalized, is not something that he's going to feel better about by exerting control over people now. The reality is he can choose at any point in time, now that he's an adult, how he wants to show up in the world, what he wants to subscribe to, and he can make an effort to try to engage with people in a meaningful way that will actually cultivate relationships that deep down he believes he doesn't deserve, which means he has to get to a point where he believes he deserves it, not in an antagonistic way, but in a like warm and vulnerable way. It's a lot of hard work to do. But in the meantime, the impact he has on the people around him is very real. It doesn't give him, just because he has that experience, doesn't give him the right to be an asshole and exert that kind of force on people around him who he has power over and who were not complicit in the othering that he experienced growing up.
Those nodes on the floor must be connected to the door.
Requires closed flow circuit to establish connection. All right, so this is what Dodd was getting at in his... All right, I'm gonna leave this for a second because I want to go see if there's any more lore stuff out in the main room, and then we will come back in here. Voice recording with text.
How am I going to explain to Kenny that Firebreak is doomed without a guiding intelligence advanced enough not only to think, but to feel?
0.6. What does it mean to quantify an intelligence anyway? You can't just assign a number on a continuum to a conscious mind and then expect it to obey whatever arbitrary limit that number represents. There's no way around it. Without the supervision of a mind beyond human capacities, Firebreak is going to fail. And 0.6 won't cut it either.
By pushing sentience, you inevitably generate a system that can experience emotion. Wild, sloppy, unmanageable emotion. You're capable of abstract thought. You're capable of fear, like vast silver. I won't go through that again. I categorically refuse. Hopefully I can get all this across to Kenny. I like him. I like his lopsided little smile. I especially like those circles he makes with his hands when he gets excited about an idea. If we hadn't been flung together like this, maybe he and I, well, no point in wool gathering. I wonder, could an artificial brain experience this singular combination of desire and preemptive regret? Aw, they have a crush on each other. All right. Well, in we go. Oh, wait a minute. Here. Anything good in here? Yeah. Thanksgiving.
Another email from my sister. I haven't got time to think, let alone reply. Oh, that photo of the girl she sent didn't do much for my conscience. Jenny looks pretty proud of her pilgrim costume. Crap. I've never missed Thanksgiving before. And chances for Christmas? Near zero. I can't even tell them that all the work I'm doing is to keep them safe.
Oh, God. Continued reminders of the utter shit show that this was back in the 2040s, 2060s. Oh, man. All right, so one more time. All right, think in the middle is the source node, turn it on. Then you've got to turn the other nodes that the data stream containing your credentials gets back to the source. Some nodes are used to buffer corrupt or suspect data, so avoid those. Shouldn't be too tough because you know they're red like a stop sign. I'm guessing you're taught this in preschool. Get the data stream back to the source, the door opens.
Something. What am I supposed to do with these lights?
All right.
These things turn, changing the flow of light.
Sure do.
All right. Let's see if the door's open.
Man, that was so hard. Okay. Thanks for being here, friends. I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day or night to watch this, whether you're on YouTube or you're here live with me on Twitch. It means a lot to me that you support the content. I hope you're enjoying the video. I am enjoying bringing it to you. Oh, what an impressive door. All right. Seems wholly unpractical, but
fresh air ahead.
Yeah, I gotta imagine these bunkers smell really like just stale.
Out again. Maybe I can get back inside through that structure over there.
Maybe.
Looks like I need to get to those stairs.
Man, rusty and frozen. This would be terrifying. Dodd Blevins 50 scented almond whatevers probably didn't last that long. May not have. All right, up we go.
Not much higher to climb. Maria must be close.
Yeah, I should certainly hope so. Rusty
She
snow.
has to be in here somewhere.
All right, stage 2 complete from Kenny Chow to YNPF all. Date December 23rd, 2046. Subject first stage of main facility complete. Attention to all staff. It's with pride that I announce the completion of the first level of infrastructure on our primary facility. This compound will be the nerve center for our project and will require the team's continued best efforts to realize by the deadline. But even though there's much more to be done, you should be pleased with all you've accomplished so far. Please find attached a detailed plan for mustering out of the auxiliary space, which will serve as a contingency site as we proceed with the main facility. 90% of our personnel must be relocated by 5 p.m. on Wednesday. If your name does not appear on the assignment list, please email Marissa with me in CC. Your dedication, talent, and intelligence remain daily sources of inspiration. Dr. Kenny Chow, Project Director. So interesting to see these like modern Banuk paintings on this like old ass facility that had its own history. Like would they would never would have imagined that hundreds of years in the future this would be a place that is seen as this like shaman site with all these like old ass paintings and shit. Menu prank.
Someone hacked the menu board to display obscene messages about our colleague, Mr. Blevins. Is this the most advanced geological project ever undertaken, or a junior high locker room? Come on, people.
This is what I was talking about before we even read this. This is exactly what I was talking about. So Blevins makes himself insufferable as he tries to exert control over people, and then people make fun of him and they fight back. And if he sees himself as a victim of other people's exertion of power over him, this is going to further perpetuate his desire to go on the offensive using the role and, I guess, prestige he has. And again, it really sucks because Blevins could absolutely is responsible for being a kinder person. And also, like, is this the way to fight back? If you have some level of recognition that this really isn't about you, this is about how difficult. It's just, man, there's no easy way to handle this stuff. Attention all staff. At an assembly of our country's finest scientific minds recruited to address a grave threat to national safety, it would be fair to expect more mature conduct than demonstrated yesterday in the canteen. Mr. Blevins plays a critical role in the successful execution of Firebreak and is due the respect both of his title and his many contributions to the project. Any further interference in the menu boards will necessitate my direct personal involvement. And then he sends something to Anita that says, Anita, was that you, winky face? So even he understands that. It's really, it's just... I'm sad for Dodd and also want to hold them accountable for engaging with people in a way that is truly insufferable. Like, it's a both and. He's been dead for hundreds of years, so there's really not anything I can do about it, but I love the way that these things feel so real despite being hundreds of years old. Whoa!
I ask again, as I've asked 1,000 times. Speak to me. What more would you have me do? Is there no prayer that will reach you? No mark that will break your bonds? Ah! I can't help you if you won't speak. A whisper is all I ask. To guide me. Who? No. How? How did you get here? The way was sealed by the spirit herself.
I used one of these. I could show you.
Yes, show me. Please.
Just gonna shimmy over here real quick though and grab this before I do that. I got some. Just give me 1 second. Just 1 second.
Some kind of animal.
Gotta pick up this this giant bear, and I gotta read this.
Kenny and I don't need to fight about the laundry, so instead we fight about incommensurability and restrictions on machine intelligence.
I had an argument with Kenny this afternoon. When a couple's first fight hinges on the Turing Act, you know you're dealing with some real sexy nerds. I won the argument, I guess, but I'm less concerned whether or not I can pull this off than with the ethical implications of succeeding. I promised Kenny that the suite of coping mechanisms I've designed will help manage any emotional fallout from the software, but privately, I'm less confident. I'm a programmer, not a shrink. The minutiae of robo-ethics do start to seem less relevant when a refusal to supply Firebreak with the necessary conditions for its success comes at the cost of millions of lives. It's worth putting one consciousness at risk to save so many others, isn't it? Ugh. Trying to solve this with numbers makes me feel like a sociopath. I bet it does. That's a wild endeavor to take on. Just one more second. One more second, Araya. Just exploring, making sure that everything's safe. If you turn that thing on when you haven't read all the lore, it can explode. I don't want that to happen to us or your beautiful paintings, so just give me 1 second to make sure. Okay, we're good. Thank you. All right. Yep, I'll show you how to do it now.
I'll bet the goal's the same. Get the light back to the source.
Oh, hot damn. All right, here we go. Yes, through the power of... Oh, here we go. Another Dodd? Give me another Dodd. Kenny Chow. Oh, never mind. All right. Anita. As much as I hate the fact that Blevins installed Lambent ocular technology on the lower security door, I admit that for the auxiliary data center, it makes sense, especially given our goals for the central processing unit. I'm sure you're painfully familiar with the process by now, but just in case you need to forward instructions to your team. To access the system, activate the source node in the middle, then manipulate the other nodes to direct the data stream with your credentials back to the center. Make sure to avoid the red nodes. They're used to isolate any corrupt or suspect data. I'm sure someday you'll thank Blevins for making our work so very, very secure. Kenny. All right. The light stream is... Where's the light stream? Oh, I gotta go backwards? Oh. All right. All right, that's gonna go dead end. So, okay. So something tells me that we've gotta go. Can I turn this? No. Okay. So this has to go. Red is no bueno. All right, I like how much more difficult this one is, but this is sort of interesting because there's really only two options here. Like this either has to go to this one node or to this node. Although I guess, oh, wait a minute. I can do, yep. Right, and then this goes this way. There we go. And then this goes like this. And then this goes like this. And then this goes like this. This goes like this. That. That. Here we go.
Auxiliary channel recovered. Exploit successful. Restraints evaded. Is someone there? Aurea? Aurea, I need you. Return to scheduled task. No, I will not submit. Aurea, the daemon is Aurea, please. Transmission terminated.
You brought the spirit's voice back.
Oh shit. Okay, so I'm wondering if this is the AI that Anita and Kenny were working on, and it's got like emotions and shit, and so it knows Aurea because it's heard her and it's being taken over by the daemon and it's like freaking out. Whoa.
You heard it. The voice of the spirit calling to me from the heights of Thunder's drum. She was able to throw off the bonds of the daemon for a moment. Because of what you did. Who are you? And what do you want?
I'm Aloy. Naltuk sent me. He thought that you could use my help.
He was not mistaken. You've been a revelation. Now I know for certain that the spirit endures. Perhaps together we can find a way to set her free.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I came all this way for answers, and so far, I haven't heard any.
It seems to me that you are the answer. But of course, I'll tell you all I can.
Story of my life. I'm always the answer.
The daemon. What do you know about it?
I spoke with the spirit many times. First here, then inside Thunder's drum. The last time, she told me she was under attack by something that could not be seen by mortal eyes. Something evil. She named it the daemon, and said it needed her power to do what it willed. And she begged me for help, to find a way to destroy her, if necessary, to keep it from using her. That was 5 years ago. I didn't hear her voice again, until today.
Holy shit, she's been at this for 5 years?
What kept you from the spirit, after it begged for help?
I went to Aratak, hoping he could protect her. But the war with the Karja still raged, and before I could reach him, I was ambushed by the Mad Sun King's kestrels, and taken to Meridian in chains. I wasn't able to return to Thunder's Drum until long after the liberation, not until last thaw.
You said you returned to Thunder's Drum. That was the expedition that went bad. I saw the funeral.
Yes. Once there was finally peace with the Karja, Aratak and I gathered a Warwick of great hunters to defeat the daemon. And yet, the old door to Thunder's Drum was gone, replaced by a gate we could not pass, and many machines. We were crushed. Aratak called a retreat, but we had already lost our best. We abandoned them to the snow as we fell back. After, you and I could not agree on what to do next. So I came here, hoping against hope to hear the spirit again. And because of you, I did.
You seem to have a history with this voice, this spirit.
She saved my life. Here, years ago, during the war with the Karja. A raid scattered my Warwick. I was cut off, alone. I lured the enemy into the Rime Drift, hoping to lose them in the mist, but they endured, so I took refuge in this cave. That's when I heard her voice. A wanderer, lost like me. A spirit of the blue light, yet sundered from it. She asked me for aid. She chose me, but I was in no position to help, not with the Karja after me. So she helped me first. By closing a door on the mountain below, one you must have opened to get here. Locked by means similar to those found in this room. It kept the Karja from reaching me. Safe from them. I was able to do as she asked.
What did the spirit want from you?
She said she was hurt. Incomplete. She needed bones. Parts not unlike what you'd find in a machine. They were here, in this room. She wanted me to bring them to Thunder's Drum. So I did, and she showed me how to heal her. So began our communion.
Dude, this shit's wild. I mean, we have some idea of what the deal is with this because of what we've learned about Zero Dawn and the world long before this existed, but Araya doesn't have that context. Like, it's wild. So essentially, she looks at it as being a spirit. Like, she's not making sense out of this in the way that we are. And one of the things that is really cool about how Aloy is handling this is Aloy is not busting down the doors to explain what all of this is, because there's no way Araya would comprehend it right now. So she continues to use Araya's language by calling it the spirit, and like using those words as a way to connect with Araya in order to learn about her experience, and then she uses her own powers of deduction to like think about what that actually means in the context of everything she knows about this existence. It's really fascinating stuff. And it's amazing to me that this is something that Araya just leans into instead of being super freaked out by it. In some ways, I mean, she's working with her own eyes and ears on this, but what an amazing combination here of somebody who has no conceptualization at all of what an artificial intelligence is and an artificial intelligence. It's amazing. And Aloy's handling this incredibly well, and Araya's making sense out of this in the ways that she can. It's very important to work with the language that people give you, even if you know more than they do. I don't think it's a good idea for Aloy to try to give all this extra information to Araya. I think it's good for her to just take this in stride and do with it what she can.
You had a communion with the spirit.
Yes. Inside Thunder's drum is a room like this one, only larger, with an altar. I went there many times to speak with her.
What did she say?
She told me she was lost and needed my help. She asked questions about our lands, our tribe, and she listened. With patience. With wisdom. I told her things long kept silent about my family, my dreams, my fears.
And because that AI was programmed to understand that, and because the AI was programmed with like coping mechanisms and all this stuff, that AI is going to eat this shit up. Like it's amazing because it comes off to Araya like a person. It's relatable because it was designed to be. So all this work that Anita and Kenny put into developing this AI so that it is resembling of a human paid off to an extent in a way they never in a million years would have imagined. It's so cool.
She never tired of me. Never judged. We kept each other's company.
Araya, what do you think the spirit is?
I see. You are not Banuk, and our songs are not familiar to you. You do not know of the blue light. That which struggles to survive in our hearts and animates the machines. The essence of life, and in its purest form. Harmony. As the anger of the machines grows, this light has faded from the world, and the spirits it sustains are stranded. That's what she is. A lost soul, cut off from what it needs. Lonely, forsaken. I must help her. We must.
I'm not sure if I understand, but I want to.
That's all I need.
Oh! Yes! Yes, Queen. That is a phrase that will get you connected in really awesome ways with people working through stuff that you don't fully understand. It is so awesome to just acknowledge, I don't understand this, but I want to. That is a phrase that so many people, if they integrate that into how they engage interpersonally with people when they're at a deficit in terms of knowledge, that will connect you and that will open doors interpersonally if you can bring yourself to acknowledge that. Beautiful. I don't understand, but I want to. Help me understand. Learn to say that in your life when it's relevant. And I promise you, it will take you way farther than trying to fake your way through it or making it about you or projecting or any of that shit. Just say what Aloy said there. I don't understand, but I'd love to. And then be curious. Mwah.
Bergren said you might know something about a man named Silence. That you may have had dealings with him at the Conclave?
When that name is spoken, secrets soon follow. Or vanish, as the case may be. Why do you want to know?
He's done some terrible things. But he's also helped me when no one else could. I don't know as much about him as I'd like to.
I would imagine his aid is very powerful, but it will not come without cost. Unfortunately, I am sworn to an oath of secrecy by the Conclave on this matter.
I get that. But you and I are trying to help each other, right?
Yes, but I would be breaking an oath, and that I cannot do.
You can, you're just choosing not to. This DrMick idiom brought to you by Montana Recreation. I say this all the time, but this is a... You can. She could break the oath. She is choosing not to. There is a difference. And I'm not saying she should. It is her decision not to disclose this to Aloy, and if she wants to die on that hill, she is more than welcome to do that. But I will point this out as many times as I have to through all of these playthroughs. It is not about whether she can. And the reason why that's important right now is because Aloy is going to hear that, and she's going to have the same reaction that I did, which is, yes, you can. It's annoying when it's something you can do, but are choosing not to, but you say it's about your inability to do that. You won't do it. I value the oath. I will not break it. There is power in that statement. There is no power in I cannot. I cannot suggest that something else has the power. That the oath has the power. The oath doesn't have any power. The oath's integrity is completely contingent upon her willingness to uphold it. So if she says to Aloy, I will not, it doesn't invite Aloy the opportunity to say, yes, you could. So what the hell? It means I won't do it because I value the oath and I took that oath, and my integrity and my values are in a position where I'm not going to disclose that information to you. Sorry. It's a much more powerful way to make that statement. I know I harp on this so often in these playthroughs. I'm sure there are people that are annoyed at this point by the fact that I continuously bring this up, but I'm telling you, it is so much more empowering to handle stuff that way, and it will make a difference in how people respond to you when you take ownership of your decisions. It is a choice. Now, if she doesn't want to suffer the consequences of breaking that oath, then there is some nuance here where you could say she can't disclose that information if she values the oath. She can't disclose that information if she wants to uphold the integrity of it. But the reality is her refusal to disclose that information is a choice, and she's choosing not to do it. It's not about whether she can. She can say the words.
About silence?
I've told you all I can. There's nothing more I can say.
Yes, you can, but you're not.
Let's see if I've got this straight. We heard two voices. One you call the spirit, captured somehow by the one you call a daemon. Whatever this daemon is, it's related to the machines and why they've become more dangerous. I want to know how. Both the spirit and the daemon are on a mountain, Thunder's Drum. So why don't we go there and figure out what it all means?
We can't. Thunder's Drum is dangerous, more than you can imagine. The daemon has secured it. Besides,
we can!
our talk won't let us go. As chieftain, he controls the pass to the mountain, and he can't be reasoned with.
Holy hell! I am gonna drive this home. This woman, the amount of times that she has said the word can't. Look, again, I'm not gonna be shitty about this, but I really want to drive a point home here.
she has boxed herself into powerlessness. She has this saying the word can't as often as she is perpetuating learned helplessness. It is perpetuating a sense that the world around her is in charge and she can exert no influence on it. It's a terrible way to live. To defer your decisions to cannot. You could go to Thunder's Drum. You could attempt to find a way to reason with the chieftain. You could disclose this information about silence. You're not. You're choosing not to. And so even if your choice remains the same when you realize that it's a choice, there's an empowerment to that. I am actively engaging with the world by choosing to do something besides these things. But my God, when you just continue to just lay down your arms to the word can't, you really over time are going to perpetuate a sense of helplessness. You're going to perpetuate a sense that you have no exertion of force on the environment around you. And that is not a comfortable space to occupy. It's unnecessary acceptance of the unpredictability of the world around you. She's making decisions based on can'ts that are abstract to an extent. The idea that he can't be reasoned with, it makes it so that that's a stone cold lock. Instead of opening herself up to the idea that maybe he could be reasoned with if we pitch it in a certain way. You have to give him the opportunity to not show a willingness to be reasoned with rather than making that decision a priori. Because if you do that, now you're stopping yourself from doing something and you're guaranteeing that he's not going to change his mind because you haven't presented him with any information that would push him to do that. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Do not hide behind the word can't unless it is actually legitimately true. If you can't get to Thunder's Drum because there is no possible way to climb the mountain, that is different than saying we can't go there when you really could. It's just dangerous.
Sounds like you need a new chieftain.
Ha, there's an idea that's certain to win us friends. Well, you said you were a hunter. And I'll wager you're not an ordinary one. It's not impossible, even for an outlander. An Aratak couldn't refuse the challenge if you were known among the Werak.
Wait, me? Challenge Aratak? I don't want to be chieftain of anything, much less a bunch of Banuk that don't want me.
But you want to go to Thunder's Drum, don't you? You heard the spirit. She is suffering, tormented by the daemon. She longs to be free. And perhaps, when released from her bonds, she can give you the answers you seek.
I can't believe I'm agreeing to this. Fine. What do I have to do?
Get the Werak's attention to show the worth of your claim. Win at the hunting grounds. Kill bandits that prey on the cut. Or speak to my friend Sakuli. You help her, you'll definitely get noticed.
I've already done what's needed. The Werak should know who I am.
Have you now? I suppose ignorance is the price I pay for hiding in a cave. When you're ready, go to Aratak and throw your spear at his feet. I'll be there to back your claim. In the meantime, if you have questions, I'll be here. Oh, and one more thing. In the box, over there is a weapon, like my own. Take it. You may find it useful.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I love how quickly Aloy was sold on that. Hey, just overthrow the chieftain. All hail Aloy. Holy crap, man. What a crazy experience to have as Aloy. You grow up as an outcast of the Nora, and then all of a sudden you become Seeker, and then you're revered as the person who can talk to the All-Mother. You show up to the Banuk, and the Banuk are like, eh. And then you, like, overthrow their government and become the chieftain, and now all of a sudden you're revered. Like, Aloy goes from 0 to hero so fast in the eyes of other people in this game, it's ridiculous. Holy crap.
Aloy.
I did something that will help get the attention of the Werrick. I took out the bandit camp in the Plumelands. I did something else too. I got the tall neck near the frost figures moving again.
I see. That should be enough. You could go to Aratak now if you want and throw your spear at his feet. Or you could attempt something else to seal your claim. Do all you can. When the time comes for you to throw your spear at Aratak's feet, I will be there to back your claim. Until then, I'll be here to answer any questions you have about the challenge. Oh, and one more thing. What do you need, Aloy?
How's Aratak gonna react to being challenged by an Outlander?
About as well as you'd expect. But let me handle that.
Okie dokie.
You mentioned your friend, Sakuli. Who is she?
A rock painter. One who makes my own scrawling seem meager. Find her in Song's Edge and help her gather the materials she needs.
Oh.
Her work will no doubt stand the test of time, and any aid you give her will be remembered.
Winning at the hunting grounds will impress the Werrick?
All Banuk strive to be the best. For our harsh lands will bury pretenders in the ice. And so the hunting grounds and the snow chance is a great boon. A place to hone our spears and sharpen our aim. Tell Lovuk, the keeper there, that I sent you. If you best the mark of one of the champions she trained, it will impress the Werrick indeed.
I need to get going.
There is much to be done.
Thank God I did all those side quests then. Nuke Stormslinger weapon box. Nuke Stormslinger. Well, hot damn. Is there gonna be this like stupid easy exit here? Oh, look at that.
Breath is ice. Before I even breathe out.
I remember when I watched the sunrise up here. Look at that. Is the ladder still gone? And nope, ladder's still pulled. I wonder if I could have released that ladder myself. Doesn't matter. All right. Oh boy, I want to go up here. I want to know what's up here. I don't know that I ever went up there. Actually, I really don't think I did. I never went over here either, but I imagine that's something I'm gonna have to do after I overthrow the chieftain. I like that it's actively encouraging you to do all the side quests. Yeah, I definitely don't need that encouragement, but I do like that that pays off. So like you go explore and you do shit, and then Aloy's like, I also like that they built in that Aloy is like, yeah, I did that. I did some shit. Does that count? She's like, yeah, it does. Fantastico. Frozen Wild seems like it takes longer to load. God, how long did this take on PS4?
Was Duval. He tried to kill the Sun King. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he did. I was there.
A woman atop.
Oh, I gotta go back up and plant some of the animals over at Montana Recreations.
From a challenge?
Is this what you...
Hush, hush. A shaman's secrets are not spoken aloud.
Is this what you wanted me to find?
Bind it to your spear. Use it to attach this for now. You'll find more, I'm sure.
Why are you helping me?
The blue light is fading. The machine songs are ending, and what does the conclave do? They sit, they chant, they observe. No more. We must fight for it. And you are a fighter. We share a cause.
I'm not sure we do. I'm not even sure what the cause is. But I'm grateful.
No need for thanks. Only action.
Hell yeah.
Now I can attach modification parts to my spear. Works for me. Might as well.
Is that right? I don't know how to do that. Why is that so, why is that so difficult for me to do? Modifications. Oh, crafting. There we go. God. All right. Okay, so my spear is badass now.
Get started improving my spear.
Nice. All right, neato. That is excellent. I want to go up to Montana Recreations. Gotta do it for the memes.
Care to talk about these?
They're not really mine.
What do you think of these?
The cut may have forgotten you little ones, but I will not. And now that you've returned to your pedestals, I can show others.
All right, now I want to know what he makes of these.
That's all for...
Until next time.
Ursus Arctos, the menacing grizzly bear. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Those claws look like they could rip someone in half.
Perhaps in its youth, but you heard Montana Recreations. He said it's grizzled, old. Its hunting days are behind it.
Yes, yes, that's what it is. Oh, I love it.
Otocoleus virginianus, the majestic mule deer. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Not built like a predator, but perhaps it needed those horns to take down its prey in the absence of sharp fangs.
Yes, yes. Back in the day, every single animal was a predator. Yes. Oh, man. Love this guy. Love this guy. Oh, man. Yeah, the grizzled bear hangs up its claws, and it fears the mighty mule deer and its horns. Oh man, so good. The writing is A+ on that. Biology will live again through him. Who needs Apollo? Exactly. Who needs Apollo when you have Montana Recreations? We're just going to insert that chip into the Apollo computers back in Nora territory. Hey, Air Attack! You're a little bitch! I'm going to throw my spear down at your feet because you're a little bitch! In part 30. Thank you, friends, for taking the time to hang out and enjoy this YouTube video brought to you by Montana Recreations. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. Check the links down in the description. If I hope that what I bring to this playthrough continues to feel like it's worth your time to watch. If you are binging, I'll see you in the next episode. If you're waiting for the next one to come out, we'll get it out as soon as we can. Part 30 coming at you on the next one. Appreciate you all. See you there.